Welcome everyone. Today we are diving down into one of the most dynamic fields of the tech industry, artificial intelligence and machine learning. I, Jugaad Singh, is today joined with Mr. Dharmateja Uddandarao. He is an industry expert with almost 8 years of experience in the industry. We are very excited to have him here with us and share the snapshots about the industry and tell us how to begin with the journey. A very warm welcome to you, sir, and thank you for being with us today.
Hey, thank you for the invitation. It's my pleasure.
So, first of all, I would like to that you please introduce yourself to our audience once.
Sure. So myself, Dharmateja, I work as a senior data scientist at Amazon. Previously, I worked at different firms like Capital One, Aetna, and I did my master's in analytics with statistical modeling and ML as a concentration. And I also did my bachelor's back in India from NIT Trichy.
Okay, so it's a very long journey that you have came across, and now you are leading a very good position in the Amazon. So, sir, I would like to answer you that if you were in our shoes today, who have just done the basics as we all have done in Thapar Summer School, what would be your go-to way? Like you have just done the basics, you know the Python only, and what would be your next step that you will take?
So yeah, so the basics are very important for any kind of industry or any skill that we are trying to develop. So once we have the strong basics and the understanding, the next important step is to find out the real world projects and participate and contribute to real world projects. It can be of many ways, like finding some internships or participating in hackathons. I know many college they conduct these hackathons and other things where they try to solve some real world problems with some data sets and all. So the next main step for any student and like just coming out of the college or anyone who is just building the skill set would be trying to find that real world problem and trying to find a solution from their own experience. So that's going to be a very big major step in learning and developing
So, as
the
you just
skills.
mentioned, that the first thing that we should do is real world projects. After we are doing, like we should do the more of projects. Like, what kind of projects would you suggest for like a basic person who has just done basics?
Sure. So, so in my if you take example of my own journey, uh, after my bachelor's, even during my master's, when I'm like developing the new skills, I try to get some competitions or some data sets from Kaggle. So you kind of find many places like Kaggle and other places, but the most place for data, at least for the data side, people, it would be like things like Kaggle and very similar platforms where there'll be continuous some kind of competitions or some problems that community is trying to solve on like every week and every day to day basis. Just trying to sign up and as a team or as an individual and trying to solve that with the skills, everything that we develop. That's my very first and to go step that I actually developed my skill set like in a prolonged way, and also some research projects where like with professors. So generally, professors keep doing some research and other things in colleges. So try to approach and say, "Hey, I'm interested. I'm building the skills, and I'm very interested to contribute to your project." Whatever in capacity I can. So most probably are not professors are always welcome. They always need an extra hand, so they are very much welcome to give you that opportunity. And these are the two things that actually helped me along. I know many other people also try to get through internships and all. And I also, but this is like during the end of my college time and all, I kind of got an opportunity of internships, couple of internships, and it gave me a little more industrial experience. But as long as we are in the very beginning of academic and mid academic ranges, yeah, college projects and this competitions and hackathons, these are the main steps for learning on developing the skills.
So, as you just mentioned, that the first thing that we should go with projects with the teachers or internships. So, what was your first project that you built in the times?
So I'm strictly talking on the data science and data field. So during my bachelor's, my fourth year thesis project was my very first ML project that I was working on stock market forecasting prediction. I think that is the time when I actually developed some interest on like my career switched to completely towards data and the big data and analytics field. Like currently, if you ask, many people will say Gen AI or AI is the big thing. Back then, during our times, big data was a big thing. The big data and ML and other things. So that actually drove me the interest.
Does it help if we have projects of various fields? How does it impact?
Um, so uh, I would say we split the impact of our CV in multiple phases of our career, right? So if we are in the very beginning of our career, the impact would be very less, having multiple variety of projects in different domains, or I mean, different skills. I think it should be fine because most often or not, many companies wanted the entry level engineers to be flexible in many things that the company tries on.
Yes.
But as the career grows, having being the expert in one thing is very important. That's what I realized over time. Because if you're applying for a very senior and a principal role, uh, they want to see how much deep experience you have, expertise in the particular skill set or something. It's not like, oh, every 2 years you're doing some new job. 2 years you did a web development, and the 2 years you did some data science, another 2 years you did something. I don't know, maybe some VLSI or something. So that may not help if you're trying to apply for like a senior or principal roles. Like in the long term, like in the career, like 8 years, 10 years down the line, when you are trying to target that big roles, I would say having a long experience in a particular and the CV with a particular deep experience of one skill set helps a lot. But in the beginning of the career, first 2, 3 years, even up to 5 years, having multiple experiences still matter because companies keep looking for people with variety of skill set and flexibility. Having that on CV would definitely help everyone.
Okay. So if we are like at some point we have decided to focus on a thing, it would be like we have to stay in that game. We will continuously would need to evolve in that. So like you have been a long time in AI/ML. So what all have you upgraded as of now? Like when you started, there were as you mentioned, a few number of libraries as of compared of now. So how have you evolved, or how have the industry of AI/ML evolved over the years?
Mhm. I think your voice got cut, but I understood the question. So, yeah, so the field evolves over the years. So when you're developing your career from entry level to mid and senior, you kind of try to develop the expertise in one particular skill set or based on your interest and expertise, right? So it's very important we continuously keep learning in that particular field. Like for example, myself, I am more into the data science field or something. So every year I try to take the very latest developments in the data science and ML field and try to learn myself by taking some courses. Like luckily in Amazon we have internal universities where we can company sponsored courses where they keep nurturing the employees with the latest developments, and I explore those things. And also outside, I keep exploring. For example, like a year and a half, couple of years ago, I did my master's certificate course from MIT
Yeah.
for advanced data science. So that is like my choice. I wanted to go much more deeper and learn more things than cutting edge things into the field. So I took some time in the evenings and I completed the course. So it's very important to keep up to date. I would say the certification courses, they actually have a particular uh, course structure developed, and it also has a credibility with the experts, like who are currently doing their research in the cutting edge things, like from MIT or anyone. So that is one added benefit. The second most important one I felt was the networking that you develop during these courses, because the end of the day, it's not just we learning our own thing and trying to applying the things in our company or anywhere that we wanted. It's also the network that we develop that will grow our career. The most important thing as we grow our professional career is growing professional network as well. We kind of understand various company. top industry folks what they work on, and we interact with them outside work and try to see what is the interesting things that they're doing and learn from that as well. Not just the certificate course or just some YouTube video, but we kind of learn what cutting edge things that other industry folks are doing, and we learn from their real world examples and things that they're trying to solve. And also, of course, we explore the opportunities. Something very interesting thing a company or a person is trying to solve, we kind of try to approach. Hey, this is very interesting, and I have some skills. We kind of work together during this course or during this program. Why don't I try to work along with you if there is an opportunity in your company or something? This is way where we actually switch the roles and jobs and grow the professional career as well.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, learning from anywhere definitely helps, but growing a professional career is where these platforms will be very helpful.
Yeah, sir, as of now, like we have come across an era that modern LLMs like ChatGPT, Gemini have come across a lot. And so how has the model LLMs affected the today's uh, industry of AI ML?
So definitely, LLMs actually play a very crucial role going forward. And even now, I would say LLMs actually help every industry folks, especially in the field of data science or even other fields, to accelerate a particular work, efficiency, I would say. Uh, so there are a couple of things to look into it, like how LLM eases the things that you do and how LLM affects the things that you do. So I would say LLM increases the efficiency. All the LLMs and the other things that are out there would generally accelerate the same particular thing you do. Like many of the annotations, like you are mentioning, where most of the things, even though how much technical job a person does, he or she may still have some manual work every time, like annotations and labeling and many other things. And those things are very easily taken care of LLMs. And I would focus my whole brain to just research on the modeling purpose. Let's say previously, if I have like 40% time I model, but other time I spend in cleaning and annotations and many other things. Now I just spend 10% of my time, and 90% of time I just try to think of a better, efficient model. So, which is a very good thing. LLMs help a lot in increasing the efficiency and also focusing more time, because end of the day, if we want to complete a task before a particular time as a deadline, having more time thinking about bettering the model will always give us a better result than spending more time on cleaning the data or annotating the data or other things. And if you talk about the indirect effects, it's like you may not need like five scientists or five engineers anymore. You may need only three people. But I wouldn't see in that direction. The reason is as the tech industry grows, the LLM industry grows, and also this particular whole software field grows, the number of requirement of the tech people also anyway grows. So, for example, in 2000s, we don't have these many software engineers out there. We probably would have had, let's say, a ballpark example, we say whole world where we have like 1 million people working in the software industry or something. The time changed a lot over 10, 20 years. Now we see everywhere there is a software, even in the insurance place, even everywhere. There is like some kind of software organizations have come up, and startups have come up completely focused on tech. So so the demand for software jobs have increased. Like now there are, let's say, 5 or 10 million. Like within last 20 years, probably the number of software engineers out there or the people who work in the tech industry probably multiplied by 5 or 10 times. So I would say the same thing. So even though we think that LLMs might be affecting the jobs in the short run, as the whole field grows, the tech field and the whole career, I mean, this particular tech space grows, there'll be more companies coming up in researching much more different things, which we even never thought of. The more startups and even the same big tech companies will keep investing in some new technologies and in growing their own teams. So I would say it will increase the efficiency on one side, and also as the tech field grows, the jobs and everything anyway grows in this particular field, and I won't see much effect in the long term in terms of. tech jobs or something.
So we can say that as the modern LLMs have come across, it's like the most of the time is going to research, bettering the models, increasing the efficiency, and the basic work has been like vanished. Like you have to do kind of vanished. Like it's reduced to only
Yeah.
10% as you just mentioned. So we can say that due to this, there has been a or this is a main contribution due to which the LLMs have grown so much because the research part has increased. So if research part has increased, there must be new rules that are evolving.
I wouldn't generally go with a role name, but to be very vague, any scientist or engineering roles focusing on Gen AI research would be the place, like would be the next big thing and next growing careers.
Like you just mentioned, it's the Gen AI, which is the next upcoming booming field. So, like, what are the things like as I have done and basics of like I know basic models, how to like basically manipulate data and put it into models to get the results. Like, what should I focus on to get into Gen AI? What skill set should I learn? Which
Okay, so Gen AIs have a very specific. Most of the Gen AI research and projects currently are ongoing are mostly happening in like that in the industry field and in the academic field who are trying to develop. They I mean, most of the students they actually try to go through these. I think there are few courses like data camp I told, and there are a few other things where they have the backend and cloud things set up and for us to practice. The foundation models are generally not directly accessible, because you need proper cloud accounts and other things. And it can become costly for students, and if we forget to turn it off or something. But end of the day, practicing Gen AI stuff is something. In an academic setting is still an evolving thing. But there are few places like I was mentioning, like data camp and other places where the framework and setup is very much easy for the students to go and explore and develop the skill
like what are the
of the
basic
tool.
things of Gen AI? Like basic libraries are it the same that we use in the ML models, or like are they some different?
The foundation models that anyone wants to just keep their hands on, they're very easily available on AWS and other, of course, even other cloud platforms like Azure and other places. I mean, of course, they are mostly wrapped in like libraries, but those things are like not like a particular library per se. It's not like one particular thing. Uh, so when we talk about models in terms of machine learning and the others, like PyTorch and other things are specifically for for some of the ML libraries.
Yes.
For foundation models, it's a little different case. Of course, they have an end wrapper, and you can directly use those things, like the whatever 70 or like Llama 70 and other things, which they have the end wrapper or something you can directly use as a function or something.
Okay.
But it is completely dependent on what is your problem you're trying to solve. It's mostly a chat bot, or it's or you're trying to develop some code based reading or something. It is completely different. We don't have one single library that has everything. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Like if you're focusing on one problem statement, you take that statement and try to deploy in different models and try to benchmark which is behaving better. So it's a little different case when it comes to when we cannot directly compare with the ML model that we kind of used to see in last five
Yeah.
ten years.
So we'll move towards the end of our today's conversation. Like some of the last question would be like, what are the major mistakes like one in the beginning should avoid to have a great start?
Yeah, so mostly I wouldn't say mistakes, but trying to figure out an interest in the very beginning of the career is very important. I think this goes back to the very first or second question that you asked about trying multiple things in the start of the career, which is great. But understanding, like once you're trying different things in your work, you kind of understand, hey, this is one thing that I'm kind of having getting more interest, or trying to, I'm very easily doing it, or not let's not say easy, but I am getting that excitement to kind of do more or something. So it's very important to, you need to find that interest or the place where that helps you uh, grow in the field. It's not like a mistake or something, but trying to delay finding that particular thing might delay our growth in the career as well. So that is one very important. The second thing, uh, again, this would be, I would call as a mistake, is if we are stopping to learn in the field of interest that we are developing. So it's always important to learn and be curious. So anytime a new thing comes in the field, we should be the first people to just go and explore. We should never stop learning. It's very important that we kind of find the interest first thing, and also uh, trying to continuously develop the skills or the latest trends in that particular interested field. So if we are lagging behind any of these two things, I would say that is a mistake which can be rectified at any time. But if we are doing it at the very end, very starting of the career, we kind of will have an accelerated growth uh, in a particular thing, for sure.
It might sound very dumb, or but it's like a very debated question in these days in colleges. Like, how much does CGPA matters? Like having a good CGPA or having a greater skill set. Like,
Well, end of the day, skill set matters a lot. I mean, the CGPA is good, like in the college, probably. Maybe some people who go on a research side or something. But I would say, end of the day, skill set matters a lot. At least for people who are targeting to be an industry focused, trying to develop a very good skill set is one main focus. But having a good CGPA will be helpful in many places. Some people try to move towards PhD and other things.
mm,
Some people try to move towards masters.
yes,
During those times, during the admissions and other things, I guess CGPA kind of one of the things that these colleges and other people see as one of the criteria. No, may not be like a criteria, but one of the things that academic setting. People take decisions on your applications based on these things, even when you go for MBA or something. So CGPA kind of matters at few places. I would put it somewhere in between. I wouldn't say it is not completely helpful. I wouldn't also say that it is very much helpful, but it will be somewhere in between based on everyone's trajectory in their growth, like what all they doing.
so like the times are gone that you have to excel academically, but now it's the time of the real skills.
Yeah.
Like some fun question, like when you were in the college, you must be into some extracurricular activities. Like, how do those skills that you learn while doing activities in your college, like you get into various clubs, how does they impact your personal growth and professional growth?
So actually, I would say they have very major impact in terms of soft skills. So, and many companies, not just Amazon, I saw almost big tech companies where I gave interviews and I was able to get into. Uh, the major decision of their interview actually is based on the behavioral interview rounds, which especially focus on soft skills, and testing a person's capability of leadership. So I think these particular clubs and other extracurricular activities we kind of do during college and even outside our college and work, they impact a lot in terms of our leadership principles and qualities. So that is very important in terms of the cracking these behavioral interviews. We kind of have our stories, and uh, like putting it out there in a proper way, kind of gives us more credibility. First thing, and second thing, the soft skills. Due to these particular contributions in this extracurricular contributions that we do at different clubs and other places, we kind of develop that interaction and the soft skills with different kind of people, with our equals, with the seniors, and also with the leaders. So these things will play a major role, not just in interview, but also once you join the company and other places, growing our career internally, like getting promoted or getting more responsibilities taken. And I'm the person who was able to, satisfy every stakeholder equally,
Yeah.
whatever they need or require. So these things you develop because of the soft skills that you develop during these extracurricular activities that you do, and the collaborations that you try to get with various sets of people during these uh, extracurricular activities. Yeah, that is very important, I would say.
So that was really great by your side. So one last message that would you would like to give to students who are aspiring to get into the industries, how should they get into?
Uh, I would I would be very straightforward. The like it should be very organic, I would say. So you're trying out different things inside. When we say software and other things, there the multiple domains and fields that people can go into. So like just trying out different skill sets, the trying out different problems and projects, and organically develop interest on a particular thing and trying to stick to that particular interest. And it is very often or not like people keep changing the interest even in the very mid of the career, and it's very common. I wouldn't say it is the wrong thing, but once we evolve our interest and in a particular field or something, it's very important to give our best.
Yeah.
And the main advice I would generally give, and even I personally keep giving myself, is learn and be curious. So I should keep learning and I should be curious in the field that I'm trying to be an expert on. So never stop learning. If you stop learning, you'll stop. I think that is the one advice that I will always give.
Yeah. So I would really like to thank you for such a great words and connecting with us today and sharing with us the how to get into industry and be in the industry for such a long time. It was really great having you with us, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Thank you, sir.